Welcome to the Divine Feminine Embodiment group call. And today we are going to be talking about desires, belief, faith, and more. So, Manvi's question is that I feel like I don't have a choice and personal space that drains me when I'm around relatives, and I'm still feeling drained. And how do I get back and how do I stop this from happening again? So, when you say that you don't have a choice, is that true?
No, it's not true. I have a choice, but it takes a lot of convincing from my part uh, to help them understand. And वो लोग बुरा मान जाते हैं बहुत जल्दी.
So then you chose something so that वो बुरा ना माने because उनके बुरा मानने से तुम्हें कैसा लगता है?
I feel bad.
Okay. So because you don't want to feel bad, you chose something, right? It is not that you didn't have a choice. You made a
Yeah,
choice to be there
yeah,
and say yes to
yeah.
what they said to because saying no felt more.
Yeah, your voice got cut. Felt more?
I'll just close my WhatsApp. Felt maybe more effort or more work.
Yes.
Right? Now, there are two ways of looking at it. At one point, me saying yes so that I do not have to sit with those uncomfortable feelings. I don't have to say no and make them feel bad and that because I want people to feel good around me. You
Yeah.
know, that's a training that we have been into where people have told us to behave in certain ways, to say yes to things. Because when you say yes, then only you are loved, accepted, and appreciated. If you say no, you will not be loved, accepted, and appreciated.
Yeah.
Just right? Okay. So right now, because with all the inner work that you have done, you already know this.
Yeah.
That I'm doing it, but I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Right? So we are actually in the next step of it where I know that I'm doing it, but I don't want to do it because that's not me. I know that I'm the person who would not do that. But it's still, if I have to do it, knowing that I have a choice of saying something that would make them feel bad, but I'm choosing to say yes. So
Mm.
that's a choice that I made, first of all.
Yeah.
Not choosing anything is also a choice. Because you're choosing to choose nothing or to choosing to choose say yes. प्रॉब्लम तब होती है जब हमें पता होता है कि हमें क्या करना चाहिए पर हम वो कर नहीं पा रहे होते हैं क्योंकि हमें लगता है कि या तो वो वर्थ इट नहीं है या हमें लगता है कि यार अगर हम वो करेंगे तो उसके जो कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस है वो मेरे को नहीं बेयर करने हैं अभी यू नो वी आर ट्राइंग टू बी राइट बट being right when it doesn't work in favor of you is not also right.
Yeah.
It will work against you, and you are there for a week and you want to spend the best time possible. So that's if you have to look at what's the gift in this, then what would be the gift in this? What's here for you to learn? What's here for you to receive?
I didn't understand in what context.
In ways where there are people who are irritating you to their best, and instead of you rejecting them, um, you are saying yes, but you're still rejecting them.
Yeah.
So the fight that you're having with them internally, that is training you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You didn't choose to have that fight outside because that would drain too.
Hmm.
And then you choose to have that fight inside of you. That's training.
Yeah. And there were too many fights like that.
and it's impossible for you to agree or align to it.
Yeah, it's not possible.
The only way you know right now is to fight and resist it. And that's not working. Then what could you choose?
Even if I put it out externally, it wouldn't work. They would make faces, the response would be on their face. उनका मूड ऑफ हो जाएगा या कुछ कमेंट आ जाएगा, अरे यार तू कितनी बोरिंग है.
You don't want them to judge you.
Yeah,
Those spaces are like judgments, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
कि मतलब बिल्कुल ही बर्बाद हो गई है लड़की, बड़ों
Mm,
का whatever.
mm.
It's a judgment that you have about them, which is killing you.
Judgment that I have about them,
What are you judging?
that they won't understand, that yeah, that they won't understand my need for personal space or my need for like structure in the plans that we are making. They won't understand that my energy is getting drained with them. They won't understand that if I say no, I'm not saying no to them, I'm just saying no to the situation, the event. They won't understand if I don't want to stay in the city or with them, if I want to stay separately.
Hmm.
And they would make it mean something about them. That ये तो हमारे साथ enjoy नहीं करती है. एक
Hmm.
हफ्ते के लिए आई है फिर भी she doesn't want to spend time with us.
Hmm.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
Hmm. So basically, that they do not understand.
Yeah.
They want to have things their way,
Yeah.
that they are bossing around, maybe.
Yeah.
That they are, how can they stay so mean and so self-involved and only prioritize their needs and their wants and their way of having things?
Yeah. That might not be true in all the cases.
At least in your case, that they are prioritizing their needs,
Yeah.
that they're prioritizing why you don't. ये लड़की कैमरे पे नहीं आ रही है और देखो टेक्स्ट मैसेजेस कर रही है. Why you don't want to stay with them? Reasons. There lies a judgment. So everything that makes them wrong, Manvi, everything that makes them wrong is a judgment. And when we judge people, we drain ourselves. When we judge people, we give them the power over ourselves. It because judgment is the only way we think we can protect ourselves. Because now I can separate myself from you.
Mm.
But these people will keep mirroring to you and will keep coming to your life until you receive that judgment, until you see the parts of you where you are being that person. Are you being that person who just wants to have her own space, who just wants to prioritize her own needs, who really want that? There's a part of you that wants that, who just wants to take care of herself and not regard for others' feelings, who just really want to um, make decisions about her life and maybe people around. Um, but I judge that part of me too.
Mm.
तो जब भी किसी के लिए हमारे दिल में जजमेंट आता है, हमें ये द गिफ्ट इज दैट हाउ am I judging myself for this? They reflect the judgment that I have about myself.
So let's say I'm judging my cousin for being drunk 24/7 because she's in depression. How is that about me?
You're judging your cousin for being drunk 24 by 7.
Yeah, she's always drunk.
And what does that mean to you?
It means that she's she's not aware, like she's harming herself. She's not willing to see the truth, or not, she's not willing. She can cope with other ways. She can invest in therapy also, and she can invest in healing. But no, she's choosing to go this way.
Hmm.
And not only she's like, I can see the damage she's doing to herself.
When you see a part of it that you are also doing in your life where you're not being present, where you're not being aware in your day, when you're choosing to suppress, ignore, and avoid, and maybe just go into your shell for really, really long time, and you judge yourself for that too.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I want to work. I have a lot of ideas that I want to execute, but it just seems so overwhelming suddenly. I want to just be in my bed, in my shell, and not work and procrastinate until the next day. And then the same cycle goes on.
You're also reflecting that in more magnitude, possibly, in a more severe situation that it feels like right now. What I'm trying to say, Manvi, is people around us will not be perfect.
Yeah,
Will always show us parts of them that we will not be comfortable with.
yeah,
And how can you use that to your advantages by allowing yourself to see that how is it mirroring within me? Mm. Because we only attract these people in our life, they exist for a reason, and they're existing so that you can see the parts of you that are aligning to that vibration, that are aligning to that image, that are aligning to that feeling, thought, or belief.
mm,
So, all these people are gifting you something if you could receive. Like, I used to be very irritated by people who are very mean or very unkind. They don't care. They'll say things and they'll hurt you. And they wouldn't give a fuck about, to the reaction that you have on your face.
mm,
And I used to feel so irritated by these people. Or people who, for example, would take up more space and would not leave space for me to speak. And I can keep getting irritated about it until I was uh, willing to see, you know, where am I being this person? So, where am I being mean? And maybe I was being mean to myself. And can I allow myself to see where am I harming myself? Where am I being mean to myself? Where I can be more kind to myself? And where am I being mean outside and judging myself for it? I was never, you give me a slap and I will not slap you back because I was told that I should be kind. I was told that I should be not prioritizing my needs over others.
mm.
I was told I should not be bossy. So when I see a person who is bossy, who's prioritizing her ways of things, who's prioritizing, who's okay to be mean, that was like such a blood boiling thing because how can they are being it? I was not allowed to be that. So these people are inviting us to first of all accept the part of me that is me, allow that part of me that is me, and also question. So there are two steps to it. One, allowing myself to be mean because meanness is not wrong.
Mm.
Allowing myself to also indulge because indulging is not wrong. Allowing myself to being bossy because that is not wrong. But when I see other people, I make it wrong. But it's an invitation to check, hey, what am I making wrong here? Oh, that. Oh, hence I don't allow myself to be that. So how can I be mean? Because that's not wrong. And
Mm.
second question is, where am I being mean to myself? Maybe I be mean to myself um when I really kill myself for not doing something, where I put myself into challenges that don't align with me, where I set targets for myself that don't feel that does feel achievable, but not feel kind sometimes. Just because it's achievable doesn't mean you have to do it. So the two steps. Number one is um, where am I? I just lost what I said. Hmm. What am I judging here? So if I'm judging meanness, if I'm judging unkindness, if I'm judging being bossy, then how can I allow, first of all, interesting point of view that meanness is wrong, judgment is being bossy is wrong, indulging is wrong. Second is where am I being this person to myself? Where am I being mean to myself, where I'm being unkind to myself, where I'm being ignorant for myself, where
Mm.
um, I'm just checking in term of this person specifically who is um, just being drunk. Yeah, I really say, where am I being drunk also? I feel in the day you might feel so many times you are not drinking, but you are actually very much resembling a drunk person by not being conscious and present.
Yeah.
So we have learned to empathize with people. We have learned to either make them right or wrong, and that would always be training. And as a coach, I think it's a brilliant ability when you don't make your client right or wrong for what they're doing. You really accept them for who they are right now. We're beyond right and wrong, and then help them from there. Because if I judge you, and that I've learned in my Sununa journey, I think my because before coming into coaching, I had to remind myself to not coach and fix and really listen for 17 to 20, for 17, 18, 19, 20. उसके बीच में मैंने कोचिंग शुरू भी कर दी थी लेकिन मेरे को बार बार लिसनिंग में आना होता था बार बार मुझे याद दिलाना होता था नो आई एम नॉट हियर टू फिक्स आई एम नॉट हियर टू कोच really gave me an opportunity to only be in this space of allowance, not align and agree with it, not resist and react to it, but being an allowance for what it is. Because then I'm not pulled into your story. I can see your story for what it is and help you from there.
Yeah. It helps as a coach, but when I'm not being a coach, it's tough. I can't do it all the time.
So you're not holding space for them. You're not holding space for your aunt or your cousin. You're holding space for this person within you who's fighting.
Yeah.
You're holding space for them and telling them, hey, I see that something within me is aching here. And where am I being this person in my life? And where can I flow that love and kindness to that person and tell them that, okay,
Yeah.
yes.
I have a conflict here. Like one part of me understands and agrees to what you're saying. And there's this other part of me that is like, मैं कब तक ये self analysis चलेगा? Like I
Hmm.
have to, can I just give myself a break for once and not take it inward and be a bitch and throw tantrums and be upset and not analyze everything and see how I can, navigate my way through this the right way or perfect way? There are like two parts of it, two parts inside me.
That's beautiful. Um, First of all, if you don't look it from the space of self-analyze, but self-love, this part within you, which is mean, that wants to do tantrums, wants to first be accepted by you and want to first be loved by you. Because when you are wanting to throw tantrums and you are wanting to just have your way, you're exactly wanting to become them, but you are judging them. Hence, you will never be able to become them. But you will become them, but you would see that you're actually becoming them by judging them. So first, ये जो desire है ना, that I want to be this mean this है, वो हो जाती हैं. I'm wanting my things own way. कोई कुछ बोल देगा तो I'll throw tantrums. ये desire है, इसको acceptance और प्यार के साथ ही बाहर लेके आ पाओगे. तो पहले वो जो
कर
मी
नहीं सकती,
हाँ,
बट मैं ये कर नहीं पाऊंगी.
इसलिए पहले उसको अंदर प्यार कर लो,
हम्म.
उसको अंदर स्पेस दे दो.
हम्म.
स्पेस उसे चाहिए. इट्स नॉट द जर्नी ऑफ सेल्फ एनालाइजेशन. हम ये बहुत सही बोला तुमने. हम ना ये मेंटल हेल्थ थेरेपी और हीलिंग की जर्नी, एवोल्यूशन की जर्नी को एनालाइज की पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से कर रहे हैं, वेयर एनालाइजेशन ऑल्सो कम्स फ्रॉम द स्पेस ऑफ राइट और रॉन्ग. मैं तुमसे कह रही हूँ कि तुम राइट और रॉन्ग करना बंद कर दो
हम्म.
और तुम देखो कि प्यार क्या होता है, एक्सेप्टेंस क्या होता है, अलाउंस क्या होता है. बाहर वालों के लिए नहीं, अंदर वालों के लिए. जो बाहर मेन पर्सन है उसकी रिफ्लेक्शन जो अंदर एक मेन पर्सन है, उसको अलाउंस और प्यार और एक्सेप्टेंस चाहिए.
हम्म.
और प्यार की तो तुम्हें जिंदगी भर करते रहना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज द मोर यू लव योर सेल्फ, द मोर यू विल हैव मोर.
Yeah, yeah,
सो स्टॉप एनालाइजिंग. Analyzing coming from the space of fixing.
yeah, yeah. That's what is draining.
That's what is draining. You want to fix others and you want to fix you. Thank you, Krishna. Stop fixing yourself. There's nothing wrong with you. Everything within you wants to be loved and accepted for what it is. You have to remind yourself, man, there's nothing wrong with. Everything that you have considered wrong is strong, is your strength. That includes your ignorance also. तो ignorance को भी जितना गलत बनाते जाओगे ना वो और आएगा. ये सुट्टे की तरह है. जितना उसको जज करोगे और सुट्टा मारने का मन करेगा. You know it kills you, but that's what is more attractive towards.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong about you. Everything that you consider wrong is strong. Sadhna, what happened to you? Are you here? Are you okay?
Just one last thing. Can we plan something around this in DFE? Like
Around.
everything that we consider wrong in us is our strength.
Yeah.
But like how? And I want to see it come alive and see it come in action. पर वो मुझे खुद से नहीं आता करना.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So try for today. Okay, we can. I'll see what we can do here.
Hmm.
But for today, what have you made wrong in this whole scenario about you or about other person? Their meanness. They just put one word that you think is really wrong.
Not being present, not being conscious, not being aware of who
Not
you are, what you're doing in your life. Yeah.
so everywhere you are making your absence as wrong. Absent-minded जो बोलते हैं. And you
Yeah. Yeah.
absent-mindedness as wrong.
Yes.
Okay. What if that's your strength? And that is, I'm not going to tell you, but I want you to sit with it and see how is absent-mindedness helping you?
Mm.
Because there's a reason you choose it again and again. And I want you to see how is that gifting you. And every time you go into absent-mindedness, just remind yourself, okay, I'm choosing to be absent-minded right now.
Mm.
I'm choosing to not be present right now. And I still love and accept myself.
Mm.
Just play with that for few days, 1 or 2 days at least, and I would love to hear your response. Let this be your process to discover.
Yeah.
Okay? Yes, Sadhna. साधना
आह,
टपोरी लग रही है उसको.
आजकल हरकतें भी टपोरी ऐसी हो रही है.
क्या हो गया?
I think I'm in my rebellious phase going on. My body is in that phase.
फुल मून
Yeah.
शुरू ड्रामे शुरू हो गया और कुछ नहीं.
Not just the full moon. It's like I'm being in the. It's just when we were grounding that answer came up why I'm being like this. So I think I'm being in that rebellious phase where like I used to be like the way I used to react to my father. Like if he doesn't support me, he doesn't understand me, I'll go into ठीक है आप मेरे बारे में यही समझते हो ना. So I'll be that person. You think of me as a failure, then I will be the failure. I will do everything which proves that I'm that person. So I think I'm being in that phase, and I think it triggered. I didn't realize it, but it triggered when I went home. That phase, that discussion where he commented a lot of things. I expected this, though the responsibility went off from my shoulder, but then it triggered a rebellious person in me, the part of me. And from there only, though I want to do some things, like that part has become very small, like 10 to 20% only. The bigger part, which is taking my body, is the rebellious one. And she's like, okay, I have done everything, nothing worked out. If people think about me like this, let me be that. This is what, like during the grounding itself, it popped up very strong. Like, this is what I'm being at present. So when you were explaining to her, I was thinking like, how has this being rebellious has helped me in my life? So I have fought for myself being the independent one. अगर उस टाइम पे रिबेल नहीं करती तो शायद मेरी स्टडीज भी छुड़वा दी गई होती. आई वुड हैव बीन मैरिड एट अ वेरी स्मॉल एज. मुझे कभी घर के बाहर नहीं निकलने दिया गया होता. So many things which I have done, like in a ways, rebellious being rebellious has helped me, because कहीं ना कहीं फिर उसने मुझे फाइनली इट वाज लाइक कि ठीक है इसको दे दो, वो चीज मांग रही है तो दे. सो बिकॉज आई वॉज वेरी स्टबर्न काइंड ऑफ पर्सन. जब मुझे चढ़ता था तो लाइक कि अब मैं प्रूव करूंगी तो करूंगी. दैट वे आई विन माई स्टडीज ऑल्सो कि लाइक आई विल प्रूव दैट आई कैन स्कोर दिस मच. सो सिमिलर वे लाइक आई थिंक इन कहीं ना कहीं वो मुझे इन अ बाइपोलर वे इट इज हेल्पिंग मी नाउ, बिकॉज a part of me doesn't want to do and a part of me is like I will not give up also. That give up वाला भी rebellious है कि मैं नहीं give up करूंगी. Whenever I want to go into like ठीक है मैं छोड़ देती हूँ, मैं I will find some other things. Maybe मेरा exploration phase हो गया and I should go into back to my previous career. But then वो rebellious give up वाला आ जाता है कि मैं give up नहीं करूंगी. I cannot give up. And that has helped me during my PhD also, after breakup also. Okay, like whatever happened in my life, I'm not going to give up on myself. So that way being rebellious has always helped me also, क्योंकि कहीं ना कहीं जहाँ पे मुझे स्टैंड लेना चाहिए था वहां पे उसने मुझे स्टैंड लेने में भी हेल्प किया है. अदरवाइज आई वुड हैव बीन अ लॉस्ट पर्सन इन माय चाइल्डहुड. अगर सम वे कहूंगी तो वो मेरे सिबलिंग्स को भी हेल्प किया, बिकॉज आई वॉज वेरी रिबेलियस, सो आई कुड स्टैंड फॉर देम ऑल्सो. नहीं तो मेरे फादर के बहुत सारे डिसीजंस ऐसे थे, तो हम सबके लिए लाइक काइंड ऑफ इट हैड बीन अ डिजास्टर, बिकॉज ही ऑलवेज प्रायोरिटाइज द फैमिली. सो somewhere that's what I was thinking throughout the discussion ki like how can I accept this कि हाँ मेरा rebellious phase भी अच्छा है. It's not wrong about me, like. So that's what was going on with me. Hopefully that will shift. This realization will shift something within me.
I totally hear you, and I, I can see that little child rebelling and being angry and means like really stomping their foot and telling you this is how I want it. How dare you, you know? And to now where I am, instead of trying to please you, I will now rebel to everything that you say. And this is coming from such a strong space. It is coming from a very strong space. How you
That was my very strong power, if I would say. Like I have lived as a rebellious person throughout my life. Like वो proof करना है. Either it is in favor of what they say or either it is against them, so others, but बहुत strongly that rebellious, I would say, like I have lived my life throughout that.
Hmm.
किसी की नहीं सुनना, especially if it is against me, I will not. Like if it is going to harm me in a longer term, मैं नहीं सुनती थी. What my thoughts were very clear कि like मुझे ये चाहिए, लेना है. अगर तुम नहीं दोगे तो मैं हासिल कर लूंगी, कैसे भी करूंगी, बट करूंगी जरूर. And I will prove you wrong कि मैं ये like without your help also I can do this.
Hmm.
So I have lived it very strongly. So I think वो बहुत strongly आ रहा है. As soon as the responsibility का factor गया, वो बहुत strongly ऊपर आया.
Hmm.
Because वो responsibility ही उसको suppress कर रही थी.
Hmm. So what do you call it as power? This part of you that can stand against people and tell them on that, no, I'm not going to follow your rules. I'm going to get what I want. And this comes from huge space, huge energy. I can see that energy coming out. My invitation to you is to also be able to see the person holding that energy, coming in touch with that space in your body, maybe your spine.
But mostly in my hands, like from shoulder to hands. Like when I was grounding also, the energy was very strongly evident in my hands.
From shoulder to your hands, and also the space that holds that energy. Just being in touch with that, giving more space to it, creating more space for it, and knowing that this is like a blank canvas, and you have this moving energy on this huge blank canvas. And you can choose to move it at your will. Do you want to put it at the center of the canvas, maybe on the side, maybe, take half of it, take full of it. You have the ability and the choice to move this energy in a way that you want. I want you to become that canvas holding this. And consciously ask this energy to move from one side to another, to another, to another, giving it a color or a shape if you want. Gently, normally breathing.
It's actually like a what you say, Rani color, dark shade of Rani color and the green. There are two shades of it. And on the canvas, if I say it's like a band at the center,
Mm.
dividing it into three parts.
Okay. Can you increase and decrease that intensity? Maybe the band goes wider and wider at your choice, and the band shrinks at your choice. Play with that. You are the one who decides.
Actually expand it, but shrinking is it difficult.
It's okay if you can just
Like,
with 1%, or if you cannot, that's okay too.
like from the band strength, I see expansion feels very easy, but shrinking feels very difficult. Very strong resistance comes up.
Mm. Where do you see that resistance coming up? In the body?
It's actually below my breast.
Mm. Breathe into that. And if this resistance has a voice, what would it say?
It's like if I try to shrink, I will vanish.
Mm. But by keeping it really strong and wide, I am able to protect myself. Mm. As
Like
if,
connected to my existence itself.
yeah.
It's like if I let go of this, everything will be controlled for me. My whole existence will like kind of vanish.
You, as this canvas, ask this part of you that what do you need?
And understanding that I'm not wrong in
Mm.
my choices, especially. It might be different, but I'm not wrong.
If you could put it in 1 or 2 words, what do you need? Is it acceptance? Is it love?
It's just understanding.
Understanding.
Understanding that I'm different.
Mm. Does it feel safe to be different?
Sorry.
Does it feel safe to be different?
It comes up as like before even you asked, it was coming up like being different also feels like I lack something.
I wanted to ask again that I hear that you feel that you are different and you are less somehow because you lack something. And as an adult, if I can offer you something, then what do you need?
It's like just being there for me without judgment. There are like two parts of it. I want understanding from people closer to me, but this lack actually comes from external, not from my family, from the external factors actually. Mainly from my friends and all, where because of my family conditions, where I always felt a kind of judgment. It's actually the lack comes from there.
What is the judgment?
Especially from the financial conditions and all, like I kind of felt that since we didn't had what say luxuries and all, like so I used to always feel different from them in that area that I lack, like my family is poor or something. And then I also have felt that I lack knowledge of things mostly because my friends were quite aware of various competitive exams and all, and I was like just aware that I have to pass my regular exams. And at the last moment, I'll be like, oh, these are also options I was not aware of. And I was like, I'll feel very small that if I knew about this, I could have made better choices. Why I'm not aware. And somewhere there was anger also. Like my father also never took interest in knowing all those things.
Hmm. I hear you.
It was like always the next step I had to find. And with the limited knowledge as a kid, I had to struggle my path. I never got the help from it. Especially my mom, I cannot expect because she was uneducated, but especially from my father, he was like never took the interest itself कि like कुछ पता करें कि और options क्या है, because these options come from parents only. So whatever I used to listen, whatever little understanding I had, I had to adjust in that because I didn't I the knowledge itself. And when I get to know that others knew about it long back, I used to feel very small. Like, I don't know so much.
Hmm. This thought that I don't know so much makes me feel less and not enough. It makes me feel that I don't deserve to be loved and appreciated and accepted.
It's not the acceptance.
Hmm.
It's just a feeling of being small. Like nobody has like to accept me. It's like I automatically shrink.
Okay.
It's not like they are doing something wrong or something. It's
Knowing
like,
that I don't know enough makes me feel small.
yeah, I automatically judge myself. They are not doing anything over there, actually.
Yeah. So this thought that I don't know enough, that I don't know much, makes me feel small. And if I know enough, how would that make me feel?
Then I can make better choices. I'll be able to actually interact, communicate with people. I don't have to sit back and just listen because I cannot input anything.
Hmm. When I know enough, I'll be able to share my thoughts and feel heard.
Yeah,
Hmm. It's
I'll
more,
be more involved with them. Like, I won't have to just quietly be there.
hmm. Do you want to be seen and heard as someone who is wise and not stupid?
Yeah, because I love interacting with people, and when I love making friends, and because of all these things, when I'm cut off in conversation, I feel like a fool over there. I feel that they won't like me. They won't, what to say. It's like conversation का कोई point ही नहीं रहेगा because they don't and I don't understand what they want to speak.
Hmm. And for you to be able to speak to them, you must know enough. Because you don't want to be seen as
It's like seen as less that she doesn't know anything.
who was this person in your life who you think didn't know much.
My mom,
Mm. And you just,
because she was uneducated, so
yeah, and
whenever she wanted to express or something, she was always like कि तुम्हें समझ में नहीं आता तुम like whenever she wanted to give input, it was like अरे तुम्हें कोई समझ ही नहीं है.
is that true that she didn't know or she wasn't?
She might not be right, but she knew things. It was not, if you say like she might not be right, but her point of view was not always wrong also.
Yeah. And was she a contribution? Was she somebody that you?
She has taken actually better stands for us than my father.
Mm.
I would say like I remember this was the time when I realized my mom was very strong lady, because after my sister's 12th exam, my father was like, when she told that she will, since she has chosen commerce, my father has totally taken a back seat. Like, I'm not good. Well, I will only just give money. I'm not going to take any interest in your studies and all. So after 12th, when she has to find college and all, I couldn't help because I didn't have any idea about commerce and all. And but my mom, being an educated lady also, she got her admitted in whatever college she knew with the help of others.
Mm. Could you see the infinite intelligence that she had, the skill, the strength that she had, and that is also in you?
I would say I know my like, but sometimes when I go into this trap, this victim mode, no, I just get sucked in over there. I don't know how to come out of it after that. I
You
remind myself continuously, but it's like a goes into a spiral mode.
can open your eyes. Two, there are two, three things that I would like to point out. Number one, you have judged your mother as, or maybe not you, people around you have judged and you bought that judgment that she knows less and hence she should not be given space to share what she has to say and she should be cut off and it's okay. Like this is how people have maybe, you know, talked to her. And you would have to maybe write a letter to that part of her and letting her know that, this is how you felt and this is what you think and whatever comes as a child to your mother. And also let the mother also give the child the wisdom, the strength, the intelligence that she has. Sometimes, because people around us are not able to see our wisdom, because they think specifically, I think in that generation, men used to think that I know better. I would say almost every uh, father or mother I've seen where father would be like, मम्मी कुछ भी बोलेंगी तो लाइक नहीं मानेंगे वो मतलब नहीं मानेंगे इन टर्म्स उन्हें लगेगा ये गलती बोल रही है वो मजाक बनाएंगे कोशिश करेंगे कि वो कहाँ कुछ गलत बोले हो उसका मजाक बनाए इट वाज अ गेम दैट दे वर प्लेइंग
Actually, more than my father, actually, it was in comparison with my aunt. वो थोड़ी पढ़ी लिखी थी, like fully uneducated नहीं थी, उन्होंने शायद 5th or 8th कुछ किया था. So her views were respected in the family, and my mom was like not it. So I think that had a bigger impact.
wasn't that she was it was the people around her didn't know enough how to appreciate her didn't know enough to tap into what she knows nobody would know everything if you are a chemical engineer you wouldn't know about physics. If you're a physician, you might not know about computers. So if I judge you based on your knowledge of computers, then I am the one who is stupid, not you. So everybody has their own intelligence and wisdom to share. But it is people around us who's incapable of being able to see it and receive from it. And it is the judgment that we have about others, sadhana, यही रिफ्लेक्ट हो रहा है हम भी कई बार लोगों को देखते हैं और हम सोचते हैं कि अरे ये तो मतलब इसको कुछ नहीं आता इससे क्या ही बात करूं लेट मी गो टॉक टू द वन हु लुक स्मार्टर यू नो और वही रिफ्लेक्शन हमें अपने अंदर भी दिखाई देता है जब हमें लगता है कि अरे हम तो आई वुड it happens in terms of body image also there will be certain body shapes will be that like what really and then we will also judge our body shape based on that judgment only it is exactly like that. So the part of you that feels they don't know enough needs love and acceptance, needs assurance that it is not, you don't have to know everything. You just are here to share what you know. You just are here to share what do you know. And your knowledge, your uniqueness is what the world wants. The world wants to hear to what you have to say. And there is nothing like right and wrong anyways. If I ask about, say, for example, Kali right now, I would have a different way of looking at her. I would have a different story about her. I would have a different way of receiving her or knowing her. I would have a different point of view to share here. And you would have a different one. And Manvi would have a different one. Our different is our uniqueness, is the knowing that we are here to share. You are here to share your difference, talk about your difference. That this is what I feel, and it might not make sense to anybody. And that's why you must share it because the world wants to hear something different. They need to hear something different. Yesterday, we were 4 friends and we were talking about an idea um, to, and my husband has a very interesting way of asking questions. And he has a way of questions where he would reject the idea first. And it irritates me. We're like, possibility की बात कर रहे हैं, तो now let us explore the possibility also, but you'll talk about all the problems. I was looking at like मैं पहले जितना trigger नहीं हो रही थी, पर थोड़ा तो हो ही रही थी. But then I noticed my friend who was sitting there and who was very, wanting to respond to him and wanting him to ask more questions. And his questions felt uh, not so valid to me, but for him, जिसका ये idea था, he wanted to listen to those questions and respond to them. And I got curious. I was like, why these questions are irritating me and not him? Because I feel like कि ये तो मतलब obvious बात है, मतलब और उसको ये obvious नहीं लग रहा, तो I got to see that this person has an ability, and specifically maybe it was my husband, and I have a conditioning attached here, no? This person has an ability to my husband has an ability to question the obvious, and this person has an ability to listen to the questions which are in complete rejection of his an idea and welcome them and respond to them and talk about it because he really wants to know what he has to say. He really wants to have a very different point of view here. He really wants to somebody to tell them that your idea is bullshit. Because when he would be able to listen to all the ways it can tell him that it's bullshit, and he will be able to encounter each one of them, either he will know it's bullshit or he will know that, okay, we have countered all the ways it can go wrong, and now we have found a way that it can go right. So these different point of views exist in the world so that we can find better and different ways of doing things. Eventually, after morning to evening, we're discussing on one idea for at least 7 hours, and we found out it's not working. It cannot work. And we were very confident on it in the starting. The gift of that was for me to realize that I was so confident on it at 12 p.m. in the afternoon. And that can go into veins at 7 p.m., 8 p.m. in the evening. It gave me such a huge possibility. कि यार मतलब, there are so many ways of looking at it that I didn't think of. There are so many ways of questioning that I didn't question before. So your difference is what is required. If you say the same thing that I say, then you are not required anymore. But if you say the same thing in your language, in your way, with your experience, in maybe more words or less words or different words, it is required because people want to hear it differently. So ये जो तुम्हारा point है ना, I know less. Maybe it could be I know different. And I ask this question to me again and again, every time when I come to a session, every time when I prepare for something, what do I know? You have to start asking this, Sadhna. Then maybe share it on your story, write it on your paper, every day in the morning. What do I know? मुझे क्या पता है about anything, about healing, about therapy, about trauma, about child, about myself, about the world, about goddess, about anything. And if you want to share, share. If you don't want to share, don't share. But start asking, what do I know here? मुझे क्या लगता है? मुझे क्या पता है? Then you will be able to tap into the infinite lifetime of intelligence that cannot be found in books, that can only be seen within. Every day in the morning, I sit with my journal and with my paper and just put down anything that comes to me, and I somehow ask the goddess to speak through me. I somehow just write if there's anything that's already coming up. But I just try to bring in that divine wisdom which is already shining. And it just makes me feel more connected. What's what do I know within? I think हम बहुत ज्यादा लोगों से पूछ रहे हैं कि तुम्हें क्या लगता है क्या करना चाहिए. You have to start listening to this, you know, because we already know. I cannot tell you anything that you don't know already. You go watch all the recordings and you will feel that, oh, so I knew everything. But we are all are here gathering together to listen, to explore, to question, and to bring in more of that out. You know, it's a game that we are playing and nothing else. Mhm. I wrote this, which I thought हमने कुछ तो ऐसे लिखा था. If you know that you are confused or lost, then you're not confused. Then you're not lost because you know. Nancy, Nancy said something. Thank you. I was I went to Mumbai for a week, no, last week. And Mumbai कि मेरे बाद मुझे लोगों ने बहुत बताया था मुंबई में बहुत छोटे छोटे घर होते हैं क्राउड होता है ये होता है वो होता है मुंबई में घर बहुत छोटे होते हैं वेरी एक्सपेंसिव रियल एस्टेट ऐसे करके बताया था एंड आई वेंट this friend that I made randomly I went to this naturopathy retreat in Lonavala when my husband was in US तो मैंने कहा क्या कर रही हूँ तो पुणे में एक वर्कशॉप स्केड्यूल की लोनावला चली गई क्योंकि वर्कशॉप एक हफ्ते बाद थी वहां पे ये बंदे मिले मुझे वो इज अ बिलेनियर and we became friends. He was with his wife and one more colleague, and it was 1 year back at the same in the same time. तो फिर I wanted to meet him, so I thought like okay, now is the time, let's go. And I wanted Ashish to meet him also. So we went. He welcomed us in his house, and he had this big mansion in Mumbai. And my husband was like crazy. He was like, "क्या कहाँ ले आई हो तुम मुझे?" Like, the house was such filled with jewels, paintings and um, जैसे वो महाराजा टाइप था ना उन्होंने पता नहीं कहाँ कहाँ से क्या क्या सामान लाके he really made a grand house. We were very well taken care of, from everything. Then he gave us his car and the driver who took us around Mumbai. Then Mumbai में I just traveled for 2 days. Next 3 days he took us to Khandala in his holiday home. वहाँ पे he had this heated swimming pool बड़ा सा and like it was crazy like and the way I was taken care of I was like what did I do to deserve this like I just talked to this person for 2-3 times in that retreat um and this person is a billionaire like he's really getting all the CEOs बड़े लोगों का call to talk about their balance sheet to talk about different things I didn't had any I didn't if I put it in your words I didn't know anything to share with him I was learning from him continuously the way he thinks, the way he um, moves his life, the way he operates, the way he build relationships. I was learning so much from him, but I really didn't had much to tell him or share with him. Financially, I could not. मैं ऐसा कुछ दे नहीं सकती थी उन्हें in terms of knowledge as wisdom. I feel like he already had so much, but I'm sure he was still receiving from me. He was curious about my journey with Sonona, definitely. He was observing how I was listening to people. Um, so in all of that, he He then gifted a shirt to my husband. He gifted one to me last time. And लास्ट डे जब मुझे मुंबई घूमना था, मुझे मुंबई लोकल घूमना था, फिर एक दोस्त नाम मिल गया, एक्सेस से थे वो, और उन्होंने मुझे बहुत स्पेसिफिक मुंबई की चीजें घुमाई है वो. And I was also questioning what did I deserve to have all this, like to be taken care of so well. Um, and I could see so much money in those days, that I went to Siddhivinayak, and Siddhivinayak में he arranged me a very VIP pass, जिसमें हम आरती में बिल्कुल गणेश जी के सामने सिद्धिविनायक में मैं और मेरे आशीष खड़े थे, और for 30 minutes of आरती. So he was very happy about it. Something that downloaded for me there was that, and I was like, मतलब ठीक है अभी I'm here, what do I ask for? And I received that this time that I have this with this breath is the only money that can I have. Like just having this moment and this time makes me feel the most abundant and rich person in the world. Because if I don't have this time and this moment, what is the money for? So the kind of abundance that I felt in that moment, I was like, oh, I have this time, I have this moment. That's the biggest blessing. Like there's nothing bigger than that I can ask in this human body existence. And there's nothing that I need to do anything to deserve this, it's already here. So you are worthy because you exist, because you have this time to be seen, to be loved, to be accepted, to be heard, to be appreciated, to be taken care of if you do believe in it. I wanted to do something around manifestation, but I think today is the day for wrongness and strongness. Then we can move into that. Maybe in the next session, we can do that. So your uniqueness is not your wrongness, it's your strongness. Your difference is not your wrongness, it's your strongness. Your knowing different is not your wrongness, is your strongness. And the world needs to have it. This is your gift to share in the world. Your meanness is also a gift, because when I see you becoming mean, I feel I have the permission to be mean to you when I need to. When I see you becoming kind to yourself, when I see you having a person with integrity and honesty, it allows me, something within me, to also be more integral, be more honest, be more kind. So world needs meanness also. World needs kindness too. The world needs strength and wars, and the world needs love too. The world needs everything. We can judge as much as we want कि यार war नहीं होनी चाहिए. But war has been here always. It's not going anywhere. So better make peace with it. Everything that brings up, let's down and notice to answer of that. Please write in wrong and bad but for calling shots by bad grounds. Cool, we'll close the session here. Maybe we'll do the manifestation thing next time. Till then, pick up a thing that you feel like is your wrong and play with, reminding yourself that this is my strength, this is my wrong strongness. And I love and accept myself with this. Okay. Do we have any questions? Awesome. So I will also need to close all the retreat bookings by 20th of March. So if you're in, just give me a confirmation. I'll add you to the group. And yes, Sadhna, do you want to say something?
I'm in, like, my sister's loan has been approved, not very large amount, but whatever has been approved, I will send it to you. So
Give me an advance, small, and then I'll just block the seat. दोनों लोग, and you can pay the rest. ठीक है? Awesome. मुझे ये भी लगा जब मैं कैली एक्टिवेशन वगैरह डाल रही थी आज मैं बैठी थी मुझे लगा ये सब थोड़ा शायद रिट्रीट में होगा इट विल कम एंड आई गॉट वन मोर आइडिया ड्यूरिंग वी वर टॉकिंग दैट आई रोट डाउन आई एम एक्साइटेड फॉर इट हाउ डज इट गेट बेटर देन दैट the venue that I've chosen is in Hennur. I will मैंने उनको पेमेंट नहीं किया है इसीलिए आई एम ऑल्सो आस्किंग ऑल द कंफर्मेशंस तो मैं को आज ब्लॉक करूंगी मैम को एंड yeah, it would be easy to travel to, very easy to travel to, I believe, because it's in the city limit. You can get a cab and you can go together. It's also accessible via metro. वहाँ से शायद मेट्रो से 15-20 मिनट्स है और yes, I think I will need one or two volunteers also that can help me designing the retreat. So just give me a heads up, give me a in. I'm counting you in Sadhna. Shakti भी आ जाएगी अभी परसों 2 दिन बाद 19th को. So we all together because I want to have some specific decorations, some banner printing and everything that will work on. And I will also need a volunteer who is good with videography and photography, female. So if you know somebody, please connect. We can have some sort of exchange between us. क्योंकि उनको फिर 2-3 दिन रहना भी होगा रिट्रीट में. So something like that I can arrange. कि I'll take care of your accommodation, food and everything, and you get to become part of it and you get to shoot. So if you know anybody, it would be help.
You can post it on Insta, like someone from Bangalore. Yes. Or you can ask Nancy. She has people. She has one of the persons she mentioned. No, we in cinematography.
ठीक है, एक बार मैं दोबारा याद दिलाती हूँ उसको. And
So that person might know some female.
in that meetup, we had 2-3 people who were interested in retreat. They all took my number. मैंने किसी का नंबर नहीं लिया. They also messaged me on Insta. पर मेरे इंस्टा पे इतने मैसेजेस हो चुके हैं कि मुझे याद ही नहीं है वो कौन थे. So if you have any contacts of them, they were very interested in retreat. I would love to have some new people.
We didn't took anybody's contacts.
मैंने भी नहीं लिया. They all
नैन्सी से ही पूछो, नैन्सी से ही पूछो, उसका ग्रुप था, so she might.
भेजूंगी आज मैसेज फॉरवर्ड तो कर ही सकते हैं.
Because one of the person is actually from production, like वो movies and all में काम करता था.
क्या था वो मतलब the guy I
The one who was like from he was a Malayali guy. Actually. I think she was in your group only when you were chatting.
If you have any friend who would like to join us, please let them know, share it with them. Okay, awesome. Take care. Thank you.